By making its successful flight to put its payload of 8 satellites into orbit Thursday, South Korea's Nuri space rocket has proved itself and the country's capabilities for space transportation. Let's talk more about this thrilling point in South Korea's quest for space power with Professor Shin Dong-hyuk from KAIST. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
Professor, let's first talk about this successful launch. What are your thoughts and impressions? What does it mean for South Korea?
So it was another big progress in space exploration in Korea. So many people would have thought that it should be obvious success that for the third launch. However, it was not the case, and history says that as well. So there are plenty of other countries that the launch failed after a series of success. For example, SpaceX had multiple failure as well. So it's still part of the process to prove our reliability. And then there was one glitch on Wednesday which caused a delay, but I think this is quite normal. So many launch is delayed so many times in foreign countries. So this is one typical way to go. And personally, the main payload was developed at KAIST, and then I also saw that in person, and then have an interesting feeling that the object is flying above the 500 kilometer. And then the third successful Nuri launch will be paving a way to build a space technology ecosystem in Korea. And Nuri also had other CubeSat to test homemade space devices. And then it's actually a rare opportunity for companies as well. So in the end, the space industry need to grow all together with the government plan as well.
Right, Professor, you should be really overwhelmed with excitement and great joy as a person who saw it. And now we should not take the success for granted, like you mentioned. And plus, in the coming hours at 11 a.m. Korea time, the Space Center will announce the final status of the satellite's communication. Based on what we saw last night and know so far, what should we hear good news?
I think we still need to wait. So luckily there was some video footage about the jettison of satellite, but unfortunately it was only from one side. So we are very sure that the main satellite and then 4 other CubeSats are ejected properly. However, we could not see visually for the other 4 satellites. And then the telemetry said that it's quite clear about the 3 satellites are released okay. But there is just a little bit of the kind of inconsistent information about the last one. So we need to wait. Each satellite emit beacon signal. So all the main satellite and then 7 CubeSats emit beacon signal. So if the ground station is able to catch the beacon signal from all the satellite, I think that will be one way to confirm that. Otherwise, we may have to wait. Maybe, in some cases, we may have to wait a little bit more because otherwise, we have to check the telemetry in more detail and then check whether it was ejected properly.
Right, not yet to be relieved, but we are on the right track so far, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
But we're not done yet. There'll be 3 more Nuri launches from 2025 to 2027. How will the next launch be different from Thursday's launch? I'm talking about the one in 2025. Please, could you explain those missions and the scope of Hanwha's participation, the private firm's participation?
So actually, the launch hardware itself, it won't be that different. So it'll be more likely almost the same hardware. However, it's different people and then different institute who handle the whole operation. So, of course, next launch it will not complete by Hanwha itself. So it will be kind of jointly between KARI and Hanwha. And then as the time goes by, the embarkment of Hanwha will be more. And then also another important one is payload or satellite. So next time it will be next generation compact satellite 3 will be on board, and then depending each mission, the altitude and then the specific type of orbit will be decided later.
Right. We should definitely look forward to space technology being expanded to private sector here in the country as well.
That's correct. That's right, yeah.
All right, Professor Shin, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Yeah, thank you.